I bid you good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. Okay, people, now if you're paying attention or you've been watching what's been happening with the price of gold the last week and a half, 2 weeks, it looks like it's starting to break away from the US dollar. It looks like it's going to break away from the British pound. Could this be the breakaway that we've been hoping and dreaming about? Silver stackers, gold bugs, gold stackers, my junior minor investors, well, this is it, this is it, this is it. Could it be it? I don't know, because we've seen other, how do you say, I can't say that word because it's gonna flag my channel. uh Near hits, or near gains. There's a word you can't say on we have to self-censor ourselves, right? It's FF, something flag. I can't say it. So, stunning gold rally shows a glimpse of impending housing market doom. So this is tied into the housing market, and that's why I chose this article. And gold hits 3-month high as money flows out of dollar. So what is happening? Well, there's a lot of turmoil right now in the Middle East. Yesterday, if you've been paying attention, somebody of importance got very assassinated. I don't want to get my channel flagged for talking about my opinion on that. And where is gold sitting at? Gold right now is sitting at 1,550 US, up $22 on the day. Let's look at the last 5 days. And this is it. I have a ton of gold and silver junior miners that I have. And I woke up to, I've been waking up the last couple of days to like huge parties. You know what I'm saying? Huge parties. And the price of silver right now is sitting at silver price per ounce sitting at 18.10 US, that $13.84 per pound, and that's 16.20 euros. So gold, silver is slowly catching up to gold. Silver always has this kind of a 3 to 6 week gap into catching up. So it's usually this delta of gains for silver always later. So if you haven't invested, or you don't have a good investor, to find an investor to tell you about metals or what's going on with them. So amidst rising fears of housing market crash in the medium term, investors are turning to gold and other safe havens like bonds, because people were turning to real estate for the longest time. The markets were uncertain, hit and miss. You're not sure. All the gains we got in 2018, we lost them in 2019. So, oil is up and down. But oil right now, with the tensions in the Middle East, I've been saying this for a long time. Not 3 years. I've been saying for the last 8 years on this channel, 9 years, that oil crashed from $110 a barrel down to $30, $40. Now it's at 60. I have a feeling it will go back to where it was, because I think the petrodollar or America can't survive on a $50, $60 barrel of oil, right? So it's got to be profitable, right? So the gold price rose 4.26% in a month to above the key resistance level. It comes as the housing market saw sales miss expectations in December. Gold has broken through the resistance level it struggled with for months. Remember, we've been following this for months. Go watch the shows that we did, Can't Read Market Talk. It comes during a record high stock market and missed sales by the U.S. housing market. Top strategists predict significant slowdown in the housing market in 2020. So what's going to happen if this gold bug takes off and silver bug takes off in Canada and Australia? A lot of people are completely housebroke and tapped out of the markets. So what's going to happen? They're not going to jump onto this bandwagon because they're completely, fully invested into real estate. The gold price has increased by 4.26%, with a month breaking through a strong resistance level of $1,500. The upsurge of precious metals comes after the U.S. housing market saw some sales missed expectations in December. Amidst fears of housing market crash in the medium term, investors are turning to gold and other safe havens like bonds. It may mean investors are fearful of the housing market. Historically, the price of gold and U.S. housing market have shown an inverse correlation to a large extent during times of high volatility. Downturn in the economy does not necessarily sway investors to choose gold over investments in the housing market and vice versa. Rather, if gold rises, it means investors are losing confidence in the housing market. If housing thrives, investors are moving out of safe havens. According to the private investor Adam Katz, it has been housing and gold are the two dominant stores of value that investors rely on to keep wealth. Because remember, guys, gold and silver have been severely, with all the crap that's going on in the world, with all the money printing, with all the fiat and all the garbage that's out there, gold is severely, and silver are severely undervalued, in my opinion, right? It is far-stretched to predict that gold will have a 2008 SK rally due to the decline in the housing sales in December 2019. Wait till Q1 of 2020, and especially with the tensions in the Middle East right now, you're going to start seeing a devaluing US dollar, and it's going to keep devaluing because that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But recent rally of gold coincides with the release of housing data from the National Association of Realtors for the month of December. It showed that the home sales index rose 1.2%, slightly over than expectations. The gold price broke the $1,500 resistance level with strength. Home sales are not meeting the expectations of economists, and yet sales prices are rising, making it more difficult for supply to meet a healthy demand. Again, now, you see, the United States is a decade behind of Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom. They're a decade behind on the housing. People in the Commonwealth, except the United States, we're the only ones in our own countries that can't afford to buy in any of our own major cities. We can't. We were bought out by investors many years ago, and the people that did jump on the property market are either experiencing huge issues. We have hundreds of billions of dollars laundered through Canada, billions through Australia, billions through New Zealand. So America, yes, money does layer and make its way. Dirty money, but not like Canada. Canada opened its doors to this. So we are, like you see, America, you still have places to buy, but now America's playing the supply and demand game that Vancouver was playing. Then you scratch your head and say, well, we have 120,000 empty units in Vancouver. What the heck? For every homeless person in Vancouver, you got 3 empty units, or maybe 4 empty units. So we got ourselves a problem here. You know what I'm saying? Every homeless person? No, we probably got 8 empty units for every homeless person. So I'm not saying to give homeless people an empty unit. I'm not saying that, because a lot of these people are getting pensions. A lot of these people have old age pensions. A lot of these people have some sort of money coming in that they could afford a modest rent. But because it's unaffordable, everybody's on the streets. And the same thing across the Commonwealth. Look what's happening in Ireland. People can't stay in Dublin. Dublin is falling apart. Why? Because no one could afford to live there anymore. They started seeing this foreign investing, this weird phenomena 2 years ago, of bidding wars. They never saw bidding wars before in Ireland. Well, America hasn't seen much of it yet, especially in its inner core. We'll see what happens if it ends up getting to there. But America's 10 years behind Canada in housing. It comes during the U.S. stock market's high. The substantial increase in the price of gold in the past 2 weeks come after the U.S. stock market rose to a record high. The S&P 500 is still hovering over 3230, following a 28.8% year-to-date gain with no imminent sign of significant pullback. As top hedge fund managers predict a major slowdown in the housing market in 2020, the price of gold is becoming increasingly likely to position itself for extended rally throughout the first half of the year. If gold sees such a strong rally in such a short time frame, despite a clear increase in optimism, towards the equities market, it indicates investors see imminence of instability in key sectors like the housing market. So there it is, guys. So this is from yesterday. Yeah, it's from yesterday. And here it is, guys. Gold hits 3-month high as money flows out of dollar. So again, back to people obviously are gonna always target towards gold. Sorry for yawning there, guys. It's early in the morning here, so let's refresh this and see what it's at. 23 now. It's up 23. It was 22. So gold, I think it's going to start stretching its legs and start basically coming out. There's the year to date right there. So there's January 2nd, January 3rd. Let's look at the last year as a whole. So you're starting to see an uptick there. Look at the last 5 years. You're seeing an uptick. Let's look at the max. You're definitely seeing an uptick. You're probably going to hit all-time highs here. Let me see here. Yeah, all-time highs in the last max that comes out here from what I could see here. You're probably looking at August 2019 numbers, I think. August. Yeah, that's when August 26, it looks like here. Oh, we already passed that. We're at 1551. So we already past all that. Oh man, it's going to be very interesting to see where things go. And look at the price of silver here. Let's look at it for the last month. You're seeing that massive uptick here where people are losing confidence in banking. I don't blame Australians for losing confidence in banking. I don't blame what's been happening with their major banks there and the amount of fraud. They're being caught 20 million violations of fraud. So in some banking establishments there. So there it is there, guys. I really want to know what you guys think on gold. Is this just one of those spoofy times where it's just one of those, or is this the make or break? Is this the make or is this the break? That contradicts itself. You know what I mean, guys? Are gold bugs going to be celebrating around the world? Silver bugs, silver stackers, and gold stackers going to be celebrating around the world, especially with the massive tensions in the Middle East. I told you guys, America can't survive on a $60 barrel. It needs more backing, basically. If you want to be the biggest producer, let's say in anything, right? America was one of the biggest oil producers in the world, and if you hold the biggest loser in the world, you own the biggest loser in the world, you want to get into something else, right? Well, I don't think they can. So right now they own the biggest, the longest losing sector is oil for the last 5-6 years, right? So let's see if I can show you guys what I'm talking about here. Let's go back to oil here. Oil. So it's pumping up. So let's look at the last 5 years and see if we see the big drop. No, it's not showing us the big drop. I wanted to kind of show you guys the big drop from about 7 years ago, 6 years ago, when oil was at $100 and something bucks a barrel, and it just shot down to $30. So here it is here, what's happening in the Middle East. I don't want to talk about that on my channel because it's just going to shut me down. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Gold and oil, where's it going to go? Will oil rally? Oil needs to rally to keep the petrodollar going. Are we going to see the end of it? Only time can tell. Is housing market going to be affected? Oh, yes, it will. Thanks for watching, and let me know.